Hello everyone, I hope you're well. So I do want to pull cards on this meningitis outbreak the um in the UK. Is it being exaggerated? What is it exactly? So I am here just to give some predictions that I wanted to for the week ahead and in general. And hopefully I'll either pull cards separately or attach it to this. I still don't have like a setup, so I have to set up each time, and I think that's uh, what I wanted to. It's not like I'm stepping. If you know my readings, you know that I had a setup and a spot, but not quite at the moment. So, um, well, a lot is going on, isn't it? And it's it's actually a new moon tomorrow, okay, but it's later in the day. So I believe if you're Muslim or you have Muslim relatives, they will still fast tomorrow, but then it will be Eid Mubarak for all Muslim brothers and sisters who've been fasting for humanity, for God, and to humble themselves, to know how it feels. May you not have food or water, not be able to go have your hair cut and stuff like that. So, blessings, may your prayers be heard. And let's see if I can say this. Actually, I'm going to try to say something. and Ya Rabbi Irja' Palestine. There you go, I said it. And we've got the new moon in Pisces, okay, and we have a few hours after that tomorrow. We have the spring equinox kicking in, and then we have Aries season kicking in. So I don't know if any of you celebrate this as the start of the calendar year. It's definitely the start of the zodiac year. It feels right. It's spring. So big energies coming in, hopefully. And I was going to do a prayer for this new moon for us. I might just do that because I did one on the last one, didn't I? Okay, so I've got some predictions that I did write down. I've got quite a few as usual, but I will go one. I'll do a short on this. I did say if you go back to my community page, because I know some people are probably going to say, well, the weather's been changing already, so you're not predicting anything. Go back to my March videos, go back to my community page. I said this week you might see a sudden change in your weather, okay? It might just go suddenly, it looked like it was calming down, and then there was this drastic change. So, weather. And I do get, by the way, I think I was getting like Midwest really hit by a change of weather. So I do get that. It's interesting, today I was, and I've just seen it here. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. I've written Sabaro because I was getting that. And just yesterday I spoke of, you would have seen it yesterday, but like I've processed the video and stuff. It's less than 24 hours of recording this. By the time you see this, it's more or less yesterday, basically. What a bit of tongue tie. And I wonder if that was coming in because of the car. I didn't know it was a Subaru. But what I was going to say, I'm getting Subaru. I'm not really sure why. But I know that I used to love that restaurant when we were living abroad as a child. It was so good. I think you might have it in the US, but I wonder if I was getting that because of Nancy, and also I was getting swan, and then I was getting another color with the swan. And I've managed to find out who and what this relates to. But at the same time, yesterday as well, I saw that we were discussing a bridge with that name in the road. Now, I do think with Nancy, she's still within 5 miles, either north, east, northwest, depending on how you're looking at the calendar and positioning. And I do think that the car used is not the person's personal car that they're known to have. And like I said, there's a personal aspect to this, and then there's a forefront of the perps. So there's very much focus on this masked guy. I'm not convinced that he's one of the people that I've been discussing recently. I'm more targeting the female. But yeah, so I just want to go into some of the predictions. Okay, so I did want to say that there will be an outbreak of a disease or a virus. And we've seen about meningitis in the UK. And so I do want to pull cards on that. The other thing that I was getting for the UK, but for the virus, I didn't actually point it down. Although I do have something for the US to mention. Is I think they might change the UK notes. Okay. Now, I don't think I've seen, I'm not sure, I might have, but not paid attention. The one that has King Charles on it, and that's just recently come out, I think, right? Marcia, let me know. Anyone from the UK, Blue Canal. Um, it's taken a while. It's only, I think, recently that you've started to see it. So I think this will take some time, but I think, you know, there is something where they might change some more faces, or one of the notes to have someone's face on it. By the time they stop prattling around, they might have to change it again with the change of royals, if they don't want to keep some honor someone. I also think that in the UK, there's going to be a a major security leak, a data breach, where you can actually go online and you can see everyone's details, like anyone who's on this database or something. You can see their name, address, and you can even maybe amend it. And that is, if this comes into the news, I don't think it's going to be in mainstream media news, because they will not want us to know about it, given the digital ID that they're trying to push through with. Even if they're a bit quiet, I don't know if they are at the moment. I'm trying not to pay attention. It's just too much. Not nicey. So, but it's really concerning. And as soon as we see that, we need to understand how concerning this actually is. I mean, I was actually today going to say, what do you think of these YouTubers that, and it's not judging them, that actually say, if you want to send me a gift or you want to send something, my address is this. I'm actually shocked that they actually do that. I can't imagine doing that in the UK. Get some real weird people. So I don't know if it's that safe in those states in the US, but it surprises me, to be honest. But yeah, it's major. It's really, really concerning. So if you see something in the news of this, please do let me know, because it's not only that you see a leak of data, you see the whole database and everyone's exact details. You can also manipulate and change the details. It's crazy. The other thing that I was getting is about AI and children. And I've got it noted, but I'm going to say it. And then if I've got it like in details, I'll go over it if I've missed something. I want to warn you against AI with children. There is a lack of boundaries on what is accessible. So your child might be using a program with AI in the net, and it opens to a proliferate of other apps and engagement with people and stuff. I don't think there's enough seclusion and boundaries around AI, and children are obviously very vulnerable. I think there's so many teens as well that they live in this fantasy world of gaming now, that might be a bit disconnected from reality, but that was really coming through to me, and it was very concerning. So the weather disruption, I do get Midwest is that harsh example. Oh, here we go. Against AI for the kids, there's not enough boundaries on apps, leading to other apps and engagement, as well as access and programming for your children. These are more card pulls like Keir Starmer. Duck, I've said, very challenging, very risky time for him from May to October. I wanted to put cards on how he's currently feeling given the Iran war. Remember, I said in March about fire on Earth, and it's still going to be tense until mid-April. The war will go on to end of April. It might cool down again, but there might be a bit of a flare up. I know there's rumors about BB being alive or not, and I was going to pull cards, but what I do get with him, whenever he does go, he will be poisoned. Okay. I wanted to pull cards on the Oscars because I feel like that's a real shambles, and I'll explain when I do pull cards. I do see that there's going to be extra celestial weird things coming up. I mentioned that in March predictions, possibly in February as well, but like weird things that are coming up. For us in the UK, I think it's April when we have comic relief. And I'm starting to question that as a large corporation of scamming. So I'm going to pull cards on that as well. Now, obviously, I'm jumping around here. I'm not going to go back to BB because I'm jumping around. I'm going to confuse you. With the war, I'll record something small in a moment or tomorrow. There's a major cyber attack coming up, and this is going to be banks and financial corporation, but it's not a total shutdown. Okay. One of the things I do want to mention is when I do April predictions, in case I forget, around the 17th of April is coming through as a key date. Again, key date, that's something tense, or I'll explain. I did say in predictions for Canada to be aware of sleeper cell activity, and I went through that. And I think the US, you need to be careful of sleeper cell activity. Now, obviously, everyone's going to say this is Iran planting or whatever, but I actually feel some of that is people, your own people, that are not happy. They could be citizens of different ethnic, not born in the US or whatever, but they may be citizens of the US all their life or whatever. They're not happy with going to war, not happy with what's done, whatever it is, but there is sleeper cell activity that's activated right now. And I did mention it in my predictions. So do be careful, and be careful April time. But also, I was getting the 4th of July that there needs to be we need to be careful. The new warfare is going to cause unrest. Okay. And it is due to the Iran war, even though it doesn't look like it, and it's going to be masked that it might be obviously Iranians or whatever it is. The conflict will go on, and I've mentioned before even all this started about supplies that could be affected. Not majorly, but there might be certain biscuits that you like that you can't get them in for some time. I did say about stocking on water. There'll be more countries like Russia, etc., getting involved. I do see, even if you don't live in the Middle East or Iran or wherever, that commercial airlines are still affected. And it's not just because of the war that is still going on. I do get Virginia for something. And again, the Midwest, where I said there could be an electric cut, there could be an outage of some sort. Now, around the royals, the UK royals or media, there is going to be a journalist coming up with information over this next 2 weeks, but they're like betraying someone with what they deliver. So if you feel this clicks into place, please do let me know, because I don't watch the news. I had to look this name up and it took some time. Tucker Carlson will try to run for president, but I don't think he's going to go for the full process. I don't know why people are also, I'm getting the energy that people are going to be saying Erika should go for president. There's something around that I was feeling in the energy when I was looking at Tucker Carlson. We will have major breakthroughs in health, like I said, and geoengineering, especially around like a lot of it could be limbs, around the mental health, around the nervous system and immune system. And I think some of that is also going to then be for the breakthrough of dogs, etc. Actually, I wanted to put a poll on my poll page, on the community page. I wanted to ask, if you've got a pet, what do you think? Your pet chose you? So your pet chose you because of their life experience that they've been destined with, or they just chose you, whatever your beliefs are. You chose your pet because you chose your pet. You chose your pet to, what would be your experience with your pet? Or both of you chose each other, or destined with each other, because, like, you know, obviously you could have a shitty owner, or you could have a pet that's very frightened, or a pet that bites and doesn't calm down. So who chose who? Or it's just not necessarily anything to do with destined life path. It's more or less manifestation of energy coming together. What do you think around that? AI, obviously, I don't know if you can see this, but it is going to take a vast hold in the future, where we will go into like coffee shops, restaurants, and it's going to be robotics and AI. There will be the minimal places that have human function, or run by humans totally. The ones that are automated or robotic are run by humans in the background every now and then to make sure, maybe owners, admin, etc. But overall, automation is going to be crazy. What did I want to show as well? Some places might get really unbearable heat from now until the mid of April, and that might be their weather fluctuation. There's basically a period of turbulence for external leaders that will be making hasty decisions that are not good. Turbulence is what we will feel, and it's the leaders that are also being hasty in their decisions, making them make some possibly not good decisions. Now, what we need to remember in life is that pain is certain, but suffering is optional. And a mystic said that. New beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. We've heard those. And some of us might feel during this period, this week especially, restless and asleep. Dream time, or your dreams and visions could be exaggerated. You could be having them. Amplified thinking is possible with some of us. And some of us might be revisiting past situations. But you know, when you're ruminating on them and you're like, will you shut up? I'm done with this past situation. I also heard a mystic once say, wisdom is knowing I am nothing. Love is knowing I am everything. And that sounds like, okay, you're telling that you're actually not anything. But if you listen to it and understand what it means, it does hit. Let's talk about the war quickly. Check the previous posts on the war and predictions. But this is explosive weapons, explosive energy, unconventional weapons I've mentioned, chemical weapons. There's a gaslit energy of the you know, either one nation to another nation, leader to nation, um, is country will see comeback for each bomb it does on Iran. Um, and so that will keep going if it's going to keep attacking. And they are using a chemical phosphorus bombing, which is like a white powder. They've done it in Lebanon, which I don't know why they're trying to attack Lebanon, but I did get a map and I can tell you what they want to own. Okay. But they are attacking Lebanon, and there's people out in the streets again, you know. And this chemical is very dangerous. It's very dangerous for humans. It's chemical damage for humans, but all the universe, you know, the earth, the trees, the plants, the sea, the animals, you know, even when you're bombing, some people in the Middle East might, you know, if you've not been in certain countries and you don't think it's safe, you might just leave and your animal gets abandoned because they are doing last minute flights. All that, by the way, builds karma of the people that are actually doing this to innocent people. But that chemical is damaging, all right? And with that, please forgive me, but the US, because Iran is retaliating, and no one's good, no one's right, no one's wrong here. You can't fix something with two wrongs or a wrong, whatever they say. There will be a more stubborn energy, you know. Trump at times will be like, it's my way or the highway, you know, and not looking to de-escalate by stepping down if it's not his way. And this is also around the miscalculation energy that I have been saying. So he could still be miscalculating stuff, but every action is getting a reaction right now. And I think we can see that. So we have to be careful with karma of innocent people, the earth, the animals. You know, I messaged a friend a couple of days ago and I've just followed up to see how they're doing, because mass media exaggerates stuff, and some, like, I'm seeing people that have been to the beach on the weekend in the Middle East that I know. So you need people on boots on the ground, right? Like I said, May to October is challenging for Trump, but I do want to pull cards. I want to see why I'm getting that. I have a few things that I think it is. This entire Middle East and also Asia is going to be affected as well. I mean, I think I saw that Pak and India are heads, and I think I predicted that as well. So that is probably not getting any news due to what is happening. What will end this is intelligence. Someone who's intelligent who can come in and end this. This is not going to end by action for action, stubbornness, you know, my way, highway, either side, or just greed. Each one has their own attention. So let's pray that there's intelligence to waken even in any of these leaders for humanity, because only an intelligent human being who intervenes can help right now. So those are some of the mixed predictions that I wanted to do. I do want to pull some cards on some of the stuff that I mentioned, if you're interested in that. I also was seeing Cuba, so I don't know if Cuba's, if Duck might be aiming at Cuba. Could that be very similar to Venezuela because of the trafficking kind of stuff, the mafia kind of stuff? Yeah, so I will pull cards, do a mixed bag because there's some also woo-woo kind of stuff that I want to cover. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this here, leave this here, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Stay blessed. Happy new moon. Happy new equinox. Happy Aries season. Happy birthday to our Aries peeps out there. And Eid Mubarak to the Muslims who have been fasting. And if I've missed any, I think in India they're having I think it was an Indian New Year recently as well. So big energies, just like last time I said about certain energies, there was a starting of something new. There was a starting of the fire horse, I think Ramadan. So again, we're ending and it's cultivating these new energies. Bring it on, baby.